camp set up. Going to get some firewood gathered together, because obviously it might rain tomorrow and I don't really want to pass the opportunity of everything being dry, because it does rain here an awful lot. Store lots of wood under my tarp and cook myself something to eat. It was a good job I gathered that wood last night, because it was raining pretty heavily all night. It's still raining now, so everything's fairly damp. But yeah, I'm going to get a fire together, get some food on the go, because I'm pretty hungry. Only had a little bit to eat last night after it went dark. Got everything together and went to bed. So yeah, I'll get some food in me and then see what's out there. This technique called feathering is used by pretty much everybody in bushcraft. Obviously it's been raining, everything's wet, and you'll probably hear people refer to dead standing wood quite a bit. It just means wood that's off the ground, basically. And even though the outside of the wood is soaked, the inside's dry. So what you do is you quarter the wood. So you split it in half, then quarter it. And you just make fine shavings, essentially just like it's called feathering the wood out. I mean, obviously for those of you who do bushcraft a lot, you'll know all about this sort of thing anyway, and you probably do it all the time. But I don't tend to talk too much in these videos where I go out and hunt, so I thought I would. It just means you'll be able to get the fire going. And it doesn't matter if bits fall off, because you can just pick them up and add them to it. Just before I head out, I'm going to save myself a few pieces of burnt wood, or charred wood I should call it. If you just take a few pieces like this once your fire's gone out, as you can see they've been pretty well cooked and carbonised there. What you'll find is if you strike one of them, So a lot like char cloth, if you just take a few pieces of carbonised wood off the fire. Obviously I'm in wet conditions down here, so I've got to kind of think in advance before I head out, just in case the weather turns. So these are just a couple of pieces of wood that I've taken off the fire that have been well and truly scorched, and using just the fire steel. You can see it's quite easy just to re-energise those pieces of wood there to help you make a fire again. One thing there never seems to be a shortage of on these beaches is tufts of uprooted grass with their roots still attached. Although at the moment this is absolutely sodden, you could never get a fire going with this. When it's dry, they're amazing sources of tinder. They're absolutely brilliant for getting fires going, and these roots just burn really well. So I'm going to dry this out by the campfire later on tonight and use it. Also another useful resource. Even though there's tons of plastic washed up all over this beach, it's pretty sad actually. There's quite a few nets that you can use. I'll probably use this one for catching some shellfish as well, in that rock pool over there. I tend to get a lot of sheep on the beach, but not seen a cow. So these are limpets, and they're a pretty easy coastline snack to eat. The interesting thing about them is if you try and sort of pull them off or pry them off, as soon as you move them, they grab onto the rock, almost like an incredibly powerful suction cup, and they won't move, and then it'll be incredibly difficult to get them off. If you just take a blunt stone, you can just knock them off like that. Something else that there's plenty of when the tide goes out: sea snails. You can eat these as well. I should have plenty to eat tonight if I don't catch anything later. You can see how easy it is just to survive on the coastline when the tide goes out. You don't even really need to do any work. Admittedly, what you're eating isn't, particularly the tastiest of foods, but it's protein and it will keep you going. What I'll do with these is because you don't want to eat shellfish that's old, you really want to eat it from fresh. So I'll tie this bag up at camp and put it next to the river. as I thought, the weather's taken a bit of a turn for the wet over the next few days, so it's a good job I gathered a lot of the resources while I could. I've still got quite a lot of wood stored under my tarp. I've got quite a lot of tinders. I've dried out some cramp ball and some Spanish moss in my hammock with myself and my body heat overnight, so we'll get a fire going with those a bit later. Also got some really nice long bristle grass I can use as well. But I'm in a little paddock at the moment, probably one of the few sort of paddocks that are in this area. And I've stumbled across an enormous patch of Alexander's, sorrel and some young nettles that are growing through. So I'm just going to spend some time picking some of these because they're actually very nice to eat. This plant here is called Alexander's. It's a very, very nice wild edible to find actually. This is pretty young, but wild edibles generally taste their best when they're young. It's got quite a peppery taste. There's another young edible, growing very, very close to the Alexanders we just saw. This is very early in the year, so it's obviously quite small, and when plants are young they can be difficult to identify unless you know what you're looking for. But this is sorrel. It's an absolutely delicious edible. It's one of my favourites. It goes really well with nettle soup. It's looking pretty good. It's pretty much there. almost fresh out of food, so this is quite a treat, to be honest. Pigeon breast is quite a good meat. It's a bit like steak. You can eat it rare if you wish. I sort of quite like it medium, but yeah, it's delicious. Tonight's my last night here. I've been here quite a few days now, and it's been quite a challenging experience. I do love coming out and doing these stints. Yeah, it helps you kind of put together equipment correctly and see the faults in some of the gear you've got and how things can be improved. And you know, a lot of things work in theory when you're sort of at home and you think, oh, that'll be good, that'll work. And then when you get out here, it's you know, it's completely different, even down to the simplest little things. But it's been a really nice experience. I love coming out and doing this kind of thing. I seem to be just dieting on pigeon, to be honest. I've got pigeon again today. Been trying to get some squirrel, but my gun took a fall, as I mentioned, and the sight hit a rock, and you know, it smashed the sight quite badly. It's still usable, but it's quite difficult to use. I suppose in a long-term scenario, I wouldn't take a sight with an aim point on top of it. I'd just take a side by side or something like that. But you know, nevertheless, that's my excuse for my shoddy shooting. But yeah, while I've got battery and footage, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody out there who watches the videos and subscribes and comments. I do really appreciate it. It's kind of motivated me quite a bit to do more videos like this. This one's taken quite a lot of effort, but you know, it's not something I do all the time, obviously. But yeah, just a big thank you to all my subscribers out there and the people I've met on YouTube. It's quite an amazing community out there, actually, in the bushcraft community. You know, sort of globally, everybody comes together, and it's yeah, met some really good people out there. So thank you to everybody, and yeah, take care and see you again. Cheers.